Here's something that should absolutely not come as a shock to you. I believe in gender equality. What? Considering how much backlash I've gotten on the internet for being a feminist and for talking about feminism and for writing a feminist novel, you would think that people would know I'm a feminist. But somehow, I guess due to all my criticism of Rachel Hollis in the past, people are out here like, why don't you support other women in business? Like, it doesn't matter that I've literally made a Facebook group called Lady Business Owners for Women in Business to connect and uplift one another. No, it doesn't matter. I criticized Rachel Hollis and therefore I am an awful person. In the name of gender equality, I do need to start criticizing some male hashtag boss babes if I'm going to be criticizing Rachel as much as I do, and especially now that I've added Lindsay Teague Moreno into my category of boss babes that I'm criticizing. Now, in the past, I've wondered, who is the male version of Rachel Hollis? A lot of these business guru types do tend to skew towards a specific demographic. Like, Rachel Hollis is like, girl wash your face, girl stop apologizing, girl join my pyramid scheme, right? And she very much uses the entire tactic of like, I'm uplifting other women to make herself immune to criticism or whatever. So today I decided I would take a look at someone who's doing that on the opposite end of the spectrum, a boss bro, I guess? And that would be Grant Cardone. So all of you boss bros out there who thought you were safe from me, who thought you were immune from my criticism, that ends today. Grant Cardone is going to get torn apart by this adorable boss babe. Supporters, I'm Savvy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and to ring the little bell, because every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Central, I have new videos coming out about books, writing, and small business owner life. Now, a way that I often combine the book side of my channel and the business side of my channel is by reviewing business self-help books. Business books is a huge genre that I read because, you know, when I'm out there running my own business, I don't have a formal business education, so I do try to learn a lot from books that are around me. I try to talk to other people in business. I try to kind of teach myself and take advantage of as many resources as are out there. And generally when I listen to audiobooks, the majority of audiobooks I listen to are business books. So a while back, I found this book by Grant Cardone called Be Obsessed or Be Average. And this book actually appealed to me because if you guys haven't realized, I am very obsessive about my business. In fact, I literally am diagnosed with a disease called obsessive compulsive disorder, for which I am heavily medicated. But the idea behind this book was actually something that appealed to me. You should be obsessed with the thing that you're doing, because running a business is not a hobby. Running a business is often going to be working double the hours of someone who works full-time, right? Running a business is a lot of work, and I won't lie to you about that. So if you're not obsessed with the idea, if you're not on fire about your idea, it really doesn't make sense to pursue it, because the amount of work you're gonna have to put in to bring it to life, it's probably not gonna work. So I agreed with the premise of this book, so I decided to download it on Audible and listen to it, and whoa! You guys know the level of energy I bring to this channel, right? People are always commenting like, where is all your energy from, right? Like, apparently I'm just like off the wall, bouncing up and down on a sugar rush all the time. That's me. And I am intimidated by Grant Cardone, okay? This man is literally a manic pixie dream girl in the body of a business bro. This is something I've noticed about business books too, right? Business books tend to be very gendered. It's very weird. It's weird to me. I don't like it at all. But like, you know, I read a book by like Rachel Hollis or Lindsay Teague Moreno, or I read a book by someone who's specifically targeting boss babes, and they're like, being a mom and running a business is hard. It's difficult to juggle wanting to be a stay-at-home mom and wanting to be a business owner. Working while you're pregnant is really difficult. That's the whole thing, right? And like, yes, it is hard to work while you're pregnant. I'm not saying that that's not true, but that's like the majority of what those books will focus on, right? Is how to be a business owner and a mom. And it's like, I'm not a mom. But then you read a business book that's targeted at men, and it goes the complete opposite end of the spectrum. And those will be like, hey bro, I was just like you. I was hitting on hundreds of women every day, and I was getting beat up by the football team all the time. I was a big loser who just smoked weed 24/7. But now I work 5 million hours a week, and I'm still an attentive and perfect father, so don't even question me. And it's like, okay. So anyway, that is kind of where Grant Cardone falls into all of this mess. He is the ultimate boss bro. He is Mr. I love to hit on women. I got beat up by the football team. I smoked so much weed that I should be dead by now, right? That is Grant Cardone. Listening to him on Audible, like I'm gonna be totally honest, I haven't finished the book yet. And I'm gonna give reviews of parts of it, and I might like continue and give reviews of more of it in parts as we go on, but there's a good reason I haven't finished it yet. I cannot take this man in more than like 5-minute bursts. Like, I feel like he's about to induce a manic episode in me. And like, you guys know how much energy I can handle all the time, but listening to this man talk, I'm like, my head hurts. I feel like I'm spinning. I'm like, what? Who the fuck is this? I could do an entire video series on this man. So if you like this video today, if this is something that you want to see more of, please comment below, because not only does Grant Cardone write boss bro audiobooks, but this man has also given keynote speeches at, you guessed it, MLM conferences. If you guys want, I can react to any of his MLM keynote speeches. But today, I figured I would show you guys a video of Grant Cardone so you guys could get a feel for who this guy is. I would react to the beginning of his audiobook and give a brief review of it. And then you guys can tell me what you think of this guy and if you want to see me do some more videos on him. Because I am willing to suffer for your sake. I am willing to put myself through the torture that is Grant Cardone just so that you guys can know to watch the fuck out for him. Get ready. Alright, so to start off, we are gonna watch a video from Grant Cardone's show, Cardone Zone, which is called Grant Cardone on MLM. If you guys have watched my entire anti-MLM playlist, you know how I feel about multi-level marketing companies. For some brief background, I hate them because I think they undermine what real small business owners do. I think they manipulate their own consultants. Less than 1% of people statistically in an MLM will ever turn any profit, and the majority of those that enter will actually lose money. Often this is huge debt that people end up going into, like tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes more. And these companies are known for having a lot of the same qualities as a cult, for fitting into the cult bite model and that kind of thing. If you want to know more about MLMs and see some proof of how they're actually like this, then please check out my anti-MLM playlist, which I've linked up in the cards. But for now, we're gonna see how Grant Cardone feels about MLMs.
Yeah, I know you're talking about persistence and stuff, and I understand it because I've been doing my business here for about 2 years, but with the persistent, I mean, I have like in my area where I'm at, there's a lot of negativity because there's a lot of stuff out there that people just screw stuff up.
Yeah.
And they give entrepreneurs a bad name.
MLMers are not entrepreneurs. I just want to say that outright. You do not own your own business if you join an MLM. You do not own it. If someone wants to recruit you into an MLM, they're going to tell you you can run your own business. What they mean is you can make your own hours. All they mean is that they are not going to schedule you to come in at certain times like you would have to, so you can work from home or whatever. But you are still not your own boss. You do not get to set your own prices. You do not get to choose the percentage of commission you make on sales. You do not get to have any control over what the products are. You are a salesperson for a company who is not even paying you minimum wage. Okay?
How do you fight through all that?
Are you in multi-level marketing?
Negative.
Okay. What you in? What you in that's so negative, man? You selling drugs? You selling drugs?
No. I'm network marketing, but we're not multi-level.
Network marketing, but not multi-level marketing. I'm sorry, I thought those two words were synonyms. Hold up, let me look this up. Oh wow, when you Google network marketing, the first thing that comes up is multi-level marketing. And check it out, it makes a little pyramid.
Oh, okay. So you're network marketing, okay? Because I mean, it's obvious. You know, you got all this, because you guys get a bad rep. You're an industry that's new. Yeah. It's early on. You're growing. I mean, what new industry has not been attacked? I mean, you can say it's old. It's not, dude. What industry, what new thing from business, the car, you think automobiles weren't fought by the people, the horse owners?
You think automobiles weren't fought by the horse owners? And the idea that, like, multi-level marketing is something new? It's absolutely not. You know what they say is the oldest profession, prostitution, but pyramid scheming is basically the same thing. No, what I mean is that MLMs have actually been incredibly popular companies since, like, I think the 40s was when the first big one started, called, was it Nutrilife? or something, and then those big companies, like Amway's been around for decades. I believe it was actually like the grandfather-in-law of the Betsy DeVos, the Secretary of Education, who started Amway. Y'all remember 80s Tupperware parties? Like, this shit's been going on forever. So it's not new, it's just worse than it used to be because the internet has helped oversaturate the market and turn it into a straight-up pyramid. The original creator of the pyramid scheme, Mr. Charles Ponzi, was born in 1882 and died in 1949. So none of this is new. Pyramid schemes aren't new, MLMs aren't new, network marketing isn't new, none of this is new. So I don't even know what Grant Cardone is on about. Keep going. Take it away, Grant.
Yeah.
Sure,
no,
dude.
I know they were.
You know, Christianity, if you go back 500 years ago, or you go back, I don't know, the beginning of Christianity, probably, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, a long time ago, right?
Right.
Man, if you told somebody you were a Christian, they cut your head off right there on the spot, dude. It wasn't even like, oh, what? You a Christian? Chop, padow. Okay. Oh, you a Christian? Really? Oh, we're going to burn you at the stake. Okay. So look, man, if you think a new thing is not going to be opposed, resisted, criticized, hated, and particularly when it starts becoming successful, once you start hitting success, you're going to have people screaming that don't want to change, particularly with network marketing, multi-level marketing, independence.
Okay. So much to unpack here. I didn't even know where to stop that. First of all, I can't even comment on his comparison of people disliking MLMs to people literally executing people for their religious beliefs. What? Like, I can't say anything that you all aren't already thinking. Like, but then when he says for independence from what? From a boss? Instead you have an upline and like 20 million other people above you in the pyramid? It's not independence. You get recruited into a cult. Like, Grant!
You're going to have people screaming that want to keep everybody as robots in the machinery, in the cogs of machinery. No, bro, you just stay on attack, bro. Don't worry about it. Right. Don't worry about those people that are negative because they're not going to join your network. Number one, number two, they're not going to be effective in your network. Number three, they're being affected by everything else in their environment. Go find the players, dude.
All right, so the amount of times that he says bro, right? This is equivalent, like Rachel Hollis is like girl. I think the introductory chapter to Girl Wash Your Face was even called like hey girl hey. Like that's her. And Grant Cardone ends like every sentence with bro. He's like, MLMs are great, bro. People won't want to join your network because they're haters, bro. Like, oh, I just keep saying bro. Oh my God. So now that we've seen a little bit of the man that Grant Cardone is, which I wish I'd seen that video before I started listening to his audiobook because I would have saved myself a ton of time. I would have saved myself an entire Audible credit, and I would have saved myself whatever like manic feelings I started to feel listening to this man. But we are going to take a listen to some of his audiobook, and we are actually going to start at his dedication, because it was his dedication when I first realized that there was something not right with this man. All right, first of all, his dedication is 2 minutes long. I'm looking on Audible. It takes him 2 full minutes to read a dedication, right? Like, let me read you guys a dedication that I've written real quick. All right, here's Sculpt Yourself. Here's my dedication. Let's time how long it takes me to read my dedication. Ready? For Sarah and Amy, who spent all of college watching weird sitcoms, reality shows, and teen dramas with me. Thank you for always encouraging me to be my weird self and for being your weird selves too. Let's never stop making cool stuff together. 14 seconds. It took me 14 seconds. And that was actually kind of a long dedication. Most dedications are just like, for my wife or whatever, right? Like, nope. Grant Cardone's 2-minute dedication. Let's go. Coffee just to get through Grant Cardone's dedication.
This book is dedicated to my wife, Elena Lyons Cardone. For over 20 years, I was obsessed with finding the perfect woman for me. Tremendous amount of pain tied up in trying to find this perfect woman for me. The call was so powerful when I met her. When I first met her, the call was so powerful that I sold where I lived. I sold the house I lived at in La Jolla, California, where I lived like a prince and a king. Sold it, moved to Los Angeles, believing this woman was there. Keep in mind, I hadn't even met her yet. I just believed the call inside of me, this obsession, this idea that she, the woman, the perfect woman for me, the calling of my life was there. I picked up, sold my house, and moved everything to Los Angeles. My business, myself. When I first met her, by the way, which was the first night I moved to Los Angeles, I became obsessed with making this woman my wife and the mother of my future children.
That is the creepiest fucking thing I've ever heard. We are only halfway through this dedication. We are 58 seconds. We are halfway through the dedication. I think this was when, like, I got to this point in the book and I'm like, holy fuck, what did I just get myself into? What is this book that I just started listening to? Oh my god, I was obsessed with making this woman my wife and the future mother of my children. That's like how a horror movie starts off. Oh my god! And that's how you know that, like, even though he doesn't outright say it, men are really the only intended target audience of this book, because there is, I mean, if you're a woman and you would, I don't mean to alienate any women who are going to disagree with this, but it's hard for me to imagine a woman listening to a man saying, I moved for this woman that I hadn't even met yet, and I became obsessed with the idea of making her my wife. I can't imagine a woman not being terrified hearing that. Like, oh my god, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this worked. Whoever this woman is, like, I don't know if she's just like him or if she's so far opposite that she balances him out. I don't know anything about her. Let's get the rest of the way through the dedication.
It took Elena a while to see me for who I am. 13 months. Since she has never tried to change me. For 13 years, she's inspired and encouraged me. Not once has she ever said to me, you work too much. Not once has she ever asked me for more time. Not once has she ever said to me, be someone else. Change this, change that. She truly has been the perfect woman for me. She's an unbelievable partner, a great friend, an amazing wife, and a fantastic mother. And that's why I dedicate this book. Be obsessed or be average to my beautiful wife and great friend, Elena Lyons Cardone. I hope in your life you're able to find a mate, partner, have a friend, a spouse that supports you, that is as obsessed with your dreams as you are obsessed with your dreams, because it sure makes the whole game a lot easier.
Okay. So Grant Cardone moves out to Los Angeles I'm not clear on, like, and maybe I just haven't got to this part in his book yet, I'm not clear, like, if he knew she was there and, like, went there to, like, stalk her. Like, I don't know, but he moved there for her before they had even met and was obsessed with making her his wife. She has never once asked him for more time. She has never once questioned his authority. I talked about Rachel and Dave Hollis' relationship and how horrible it sounds. This sounds like 1,000 times worse. Like, this relationship sounds like the plot of a Lifetime movie where the woman probably dies in the end. Like, this is the creepiest shit I've ever heard. After that, he kind of goes on about his previous book called The 10X Rule, which is about how every time you make a goal, you should make your goal 10 times bigger than that to achieve it. Now, on some level, I agree with this. I've talked in a previous video about how I intentionally do like to set goals that are too big for me to accomplish so that I am reaching for something higher, because the higher you reach, the higher you will move, right? You're setting a high expectation for yourself. I believe in that as a principle. But the way he obsessively goes on about this and is like, the 10X rule. You want to make $1 million this year? Make your goal to make $10 million this year. You want to lose weight? Make your goal to lose 10 times the amount of pounds you actually need to lose. Like, he literally said that. And I was like, okay, right now I'm trying to lose 15 pounds. So by Grant Cardone's logic, I should actually be trying to lose 150 pounds, which is my entire body weight. So, according to Grant Cardone, I should just fucking kill myself. What? Oh my god. So that's his whole premise, is that everything you do, you need to do 10 times more. I get it in principle. I get the kind of mindset he's going into. But that is how psychotic fixations start. I know, I have OCD. I've overcome an eating disorder. I have been in these positions where you cannot set everything to that level. You just can't do it. It's bad for your mental health. We will find out exactly how Grant Cardone feels about mental health.
Introduction. My entire life, people have been telling me that my obsession with success was a bad thing. I've been called a work addict, compulsive, obsessive, never satisfied, out of balance, tyrannical, even impossible to work with. I was called selfish, greedy, mean to people, okay, narcissistic. Look, I've been called it all, I'm telling you. OCD, ADD, ADHD, so many D's that
These are all legitimate mental health things. He's like, I've been called OCD, I've been called ADHD. Like, who was calling you that? Was it your doctor? Because if your doctor was saying that, then perhaps you might actually need to address that.
Started thinking I was a big D. I've been told I was too demanding and that I have unreasonable expectations for myself and for all others. I've had professionals, the so-called professionals, suggest I had diseases and labeled me ADD, ADHD, OCD, and much, much.
He said professionals! He said I had professionals label me with ADD and OCD. Oh my god. Okay, I have to stop here. This is the last point I really want to go into because I'm going to go into this a lot because this is really, really important and I need you guys to all listen very carefully to this, okay? A mental illness is not a quirky quality that you have, and it's not an asset to your career. I know because I made this mistake in the past, and this is where I'm going to get personal. Grant Cardone is over here saying that he's had professionals tell him he has OCD and ADD. He's been told that by professionals, which means he probably actually does have those things. I'm not a doctor, but he says professionals have told him that, so a doctor has probably told him that at some point. He clearly has dismissed that idea and has said, okay, well, those qualities are good for me as a businessman, and now I'm a multimillionaire, so it's fine, it's fine. That is such a dangerous idea to spread. Back in the day, before I got medicated for OCD, I was very obsessive, I was very manic, I had regular, like, breakdowns, and I also had issues with substance abuse and with extreme dieting. I had issues with all of this, and this was all because I wasn't medicated, because my brain was awful to me. It was eating away at me. But you know what? At the time, I didn't want to get medicated because you guys know how ambitious I am. You know how into being a business owner and being a writer and how I have these big dreams and I have big goals that I'm constantly working towards. At the time, I had convinced myself that these flaws in my mental health were good for my career. That because I was so obsessive about things, I was able to do a better job of working nonstop. That because I had mental breakdowns, that meant that I had a greater emotional range, which would make my writing more authentic. I had all of these ideas about that, which are perpetuated by people like Grant Cardone, who are saying, no, if you have these crazy levels of obsessions that doctors would tell you are a mental health disorder, that you should just use that to your advantage. Like, no. Eventually I got medicated because there was a point where I just couldn't take it anymore. I woke up feeling like my head was pounding, like my ears were ringing, like the world was just closing in on me constantly. So I went to the fucking psychiatrist, I got medication, and wow, wouldn't you know it, my life is 1,000 times better. Literally, I'm more successful as a business owner and as a writer now than I was back then. Because even though I'm not as, like, you guys think I'm high energy now. Before I was medicated, I was a completely different animal. Like, I would like work out like 3 times a day. I was in a college marching band that was like very high energy, and I would do that. I would go to practice for that all day, and then I'd go to class all day. I worked like 2 jobs at the same time, and I never ran out of energy. Like right now, I just do my normal life, and I fall asleep like pretty early, and I'm always exhausted. But like I was never exhausted, just constantly going in that way. And I don't have that level of energy anymore, but it hasn't changed my productivity. In fact, the fact that I don't have to get distracted and bogged down by frequent mental breakdowns means that I can actually do my work. I am a big fan of seeing a professional to help you with your mental health. Of taking your medication if you get medication. And sometimes medication doesn't always work. It's not right for everyone, so I'm not telling people that you all have to take pills, but I'm saying that for me, it made my life so much better, even though, you know, I've gained like 30 pounds, even though I've lost a lot of my energy, even though my emotional range is not as wide as it used to be, my life is so much better. And I am so much healthier of a person, especially mentally. I don't feel like, it's even hard to describe. It's hard to describe, and I've talked about my OCD in videos in the past, but it's hard to describe how just devastating OCD can be when it's at its worst. And the fact that Grant Cardone is saying that professionals have told him he has had multiple mental illnesses and he has just not listened and just took that and run with it and said that we all should too, because that's the way to not be average, that's the way to be a really successful business guru. I'm appalled, honestly. Like, I've talked shit about Rachel Hollis, about Lindsay Teague Moreno, about whoever. I have never seen anyone at this level, because not only is he encouraging people to stay in MLMs and to do MLMs, he is encouraging people to ignore mental health advice for the sake of making your business better. Because the rest of the book, he just kind of goes on about how obsession at all levels is a good thing. And I agree that you need to be passionate. I agree that you need to be willing to put in ridiculous hours of work if you want to make a business successful. But I disagree that you should throw away a diagnosis of a mental illness because of that. That's just shocking to me. So, friends, that is Grant Cardone. Holy shit. If you want me to dive even deeper into, you know, his book and his MLM speeches and all of that, let me know in the comments below, and I will plan out some additional videos about this. I know I started off by saying he's a Manic Pixie dream girl, but like, I almost don't feel right making that as a joke anymore, because like, he's actually dangerous. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to support small businesses, please check out my small business, Forever Home Friends, linked in the description below. We have a series of books and stuffed animals, all based on real rescue dogs. 10% of profits benefit animal shelters. I also have my novel, Sculpt Yourself, and my young adult novella, Beauty King, linked in the description below. You can listen to Sculpt Yourself as an audiobook, and the dedication will take 15 seconds and not 2 minutes, so enjoy that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to support small businesses, real small businesses, not business gurus who are going to try to emotionally manipulate you. Happy reading and writing, everyone!